Here we go. Welcome to Rockstar Rally. It's Tuesday night. I'm Jennifer Anderson, Superstar Director of Radiant Rockstars, and it's my favorite night of the week where I get to spend it with all of you, my favorite people in the world. So tonight we're talking all about having a CEO mindset in your business, and that might be a little bit vague, but you know, I actually feel like I've needed and wanted to talk about this for quite a while. What even is having a CEO mindset? You know, I see a lot of consultants come into this business, and they come into the business because they love the products, right? Most people join Scentsy because they like the products. Their stuff smells good, or they buy it so much they just want to get it at a discount. And so most people don't come into Scentsy with a CEO mindset. Did anyone join Scentsy because they love the products? Literally most of the hands. If you don't have it on gallery view, literally most of the people here raised their hands and said, yeah, that's why I joined Scentsy. So most people join Scentsy because of a love for the product. So a CEO mindset is not something that comes naturally. It's not something that people have when they join. And what I mean by having a CEO mindset is basically having a business owner, forward-thinking mindset in everything you do that in your business. And I think for a long time in your business, especially in the beginning, it's really easy to be like, oh, well, I don't like this scent, or I don't like this product, or I don't like this warmer, so I'm not going to push it, or I'm not going to sell it, or I'm not going to talk about it. But the reality is, it's not about what we like. And that's where a CEO mindset starts, okay? That's where a business mindset starts. When you start to realize that building your Scentsy business isn't just about what you like and sharing the things that are fun for you with other people, that it's so much bigger than that, that's where a CEO mindset begins, okay? So there are many areas in your business that I feel like a CEO mindset kind of goes into, but honestly, that's one of the biggest places it starts, is like a love for the products. So here's the thing. I'm always going to encourage you to be authentic in your business. I'm always going to encourage you to be yourself. I'm always going to encourage you to use your gifts and talents in your business. But when you get so specific in your business, or so authentic in your business, that you only attract people just like you literally miss entire groups of people, and thus entire potential income, team building opportunities, etc. Okay. So let's say, for example, you love Joanna Gaines, farmhouse, rustic chic. That's your thing. You're going to be very naturally inclined to share things like the little church warmer, deja vu warmer. Okay. The gather, like love grows where gather, whatever that saying is. You know, you're going to be very naturally inclined to share all of those styles of warmers. But if that's all you share, and that's all that your customers see of Scentsy, but maybe they're a little more glitz and glam, and acute copper, or bubbled ultraviolet, or crushed diamond could totally grab someone, but you don't share those because that's not your natural inclination, they might think, oh, Scentsy's just this Joanna Gaines farmhouse chic wannabe, magnolia, whatever, right? Honestly though, I know it sounds crazy, but we have to make sure that we're sharing all types of products to meet all types of people, okay? So that's really kind of where it begins. We must be super diverse in what we offer to our customers, and diverse in the way that we offer the host opportunity and the join opportunity, okay? Again, it's very natural to attract people who are just like you. But what we have to do is do a self-eval and say, how can I be more attractive to the masses? How can I attract more people who don't look like me, sound like me, talk like me, have things in common with me, like the same things that I like, right? Because guys, that's a CEO mindset. A CEO mindset says, I want to expand my business all the time. I constantly want to be growing. I want to be growing this way. I want to be growing this way. And have any of you ever watched $1 Million Listing? New York? Okay, if you guys have ever watched that, one of the guys' taglines was, my motto is expansion, always in all ways. But that is a CEO mindset. And it sounds so cheesy that I'm quoting him, but that is a CEO mindset. He said, my motto is expansion always in all ways. And that's really what it takes to build a big business long-term and get all the things that you're telling me that you want out of this business. Okay. We're constantly looking to expand this way, and this way. So when I say this way, we're looking to expand our customer base, the people that we reach, the people that we talk to, the people who are exposed to our business on a daily basis in a very basic like sales and marketing way. We're looking to expand this way, which means widely build your front line. You want to build your front line as wide as you possibly can. And there's a whole host of reasons why that's really important, and we can talk about that another time, but basically there's a lot of correlations between high active frontline and high paychecks. You make the most money. This is who we get paid on your frontline. Okay. In order to grow to director and then beyond director, you have to have first generation directors, and you're increasing your chance of having that the more frontline you have. Okay. So we have a saying, it says, recruit the many to find the few. You recruit the many people to find the few who will take your business to the next level. You have to personally recruit the many to find the few who are going to change your business forever. So that's expansion this way. And then we want expansion this way. We're helping all of these people build deep. Okay. But in order for you to expand like this and like this, you have to appeal to the masses, because if you only appeal to people that are like you, I mean, what if only 4% of the population is like you? So what happens to all 96% of other people, right? You have to make sure you are appealing to the masses. So that's just about diversifying the way that you market yourself. Okay. So let's talk about having a CEO mindset. You know, and you might sit here thinking like, CEO, like I could never be a CEO, not possible for me. Guess what? Newsflash, when you joined Scentsy, you started a business and you are the CEO of that business. Okay. You don't have a boss. I've had people say like, okay, boss, or she's my boss. I'm not anyone's boss. I'm my boss, and that's it. You are your boss. You don't have a boss. Nobody tells you what to do. You get to choose if you show up for work or you don't. You are the CEO of your business, whether you think you can be a CEO or not. So it's time that we start acting like a CEO, because you don't answer to anyone. You don't answer to anyone. Do you know that most CEOs and you actually have it better, because most CEOs have to answer to a board of directors or shareholders or something like that. So this is like an even better scenario. But the flip side is that because you don't have to answer to anyone, right? And you're in complete control, nobody makes you do anything. So that motivation, that desire to work, that desire to show up, that has to come from within. And I think that's rooted, like we've talked about before, in knowing your passionate purpose, your why, and being so connected to it. Okay. So believe it or not, CEOs are not rare. Did you know that in this country alone, there are over 2 million CEOs? 2 million. Like, you're probably sitting here thinking like, oh, maybe there's like 500, like all these big corporations, whatever. There are 2 million CEOs just in America, and that number is growing. And in fact, you might think, I'm not smart enough to act like a CEO, or like, I don't have what it takes. Well, did you know only 7% of CEOs have graduated from elite universities? And there are more CEOs in our country who have no degrees than have graduated from elite universities. Okay, that's a pretty cool fact. Regardless of all of that, you don't need a degree to do this business. You don't need to have graduated from an elite university to do this business. It doesn't matter. You could have a master's, you could have a doctorate degree, and you could have a GED. It doesn't matter. The opportunity for success is equal, and it's a level playing field for everyone. It doesn't matter. Any of those things don't matter. And we always think that CEOs are like super successful and it's only these select few and like only these kinds of people can be CEOs. Did you know that studies show that 45% of people who are CEOs have had a catastrophic failure at some point in their work career? Catastrophic failure. I guarantee you any rejection that you've had, or anytime you've been told no, or any party that fell through, or someone said they were going to join and didn't, those are not classified as catastrophic failures at all. Those are just part of the game. So like if you're looking at your opportunity versus the rest of the world's opportunity to be a CEO, like you got it really good. You have all the things on your side. You have all the cards. You have everything that you need, but it comes with the choice, and it comes with proper training, and it comes with having the right CEO mindset in your business on a daily basis, okay? Let's take the warmer of the month, for example. I subscribe to the warmer of the month kit every month, and I have for the past 9.5 years. Even if I think the warmer is ugly AF, okay? Even if I think the scent is gag worthy. You know why? I'm going to tell you. Because I have a CEO mindset, okay? I know for me to sell that warmer, it only takes one person to fall in love with it. Just one. And it doesn't have to be me. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, I can sell wax. I ain't like concerned about selling wax or unloading scent bars or whatever. Like, you can get rid of that. Don't you worry about it. If you're willing to hustle, make samples, turn it into free gifts, whatever. But the biggest reason that I subscribe to the Warmer and Scent of the Month kit, are you ready? It's because it's a consultant only perk to get that massive discount. And if I'm able to go get product at a massive discount and flip it around and sell it at retail, I'm not only earning commission on the PRV, but I'm making an over and above profit on that warmer and bars that I got cheap. So any chance that you have to get discounted product, you should get it, because you're increasing your opportunity to make money. You're increasing your opportunity for profit. And that is a CEO mindset. It has nothing to do with whether you like it or not. Okay? Nothing to do with it. I had a warmer of the month one time for 4 years. No joke. 4 years. And I put it out at every event, and I even took it to parties, and I did all these things. And guys, I really don't like discount my stuff, because there's no need, because that customer doesn't know if you've had it for 4 years or 4 minutes. They have no idea. It doesn't matter. It takes one customer to love it. And so I'm willing to tote it around. I'm not worried about it. It just sits in my stock. It just sits in my whatever, so that I'm taking to an event. You guys, I sold it for full price after 4 years. It's okay. It only takes one person to love something for you to sell it. So, Warmer of the Month kit. Let's talk about CEO mindset when we're talking about expenses in your business versus return on your investment or money that you make. Okay. Now, you've heard people say that you should send out a scent circle for every PWS order. How many of you do that? Okay. I do not. I do not send out a scent circle for every PWS order. And here's why, okay? Let's say I get a PWS order for 6 bars and it's 30 PRV, okay? At a minimum, I'm going to make $7.50 on that, potentially $9 if I'm making 30% commission because I earn the monthly sales award. So if I made $9 and then I send them a thank you in the mail that has a scent circle in it, and maybe a Warmer of the Month flyer and a felt sample, and I got to take into account the envelope and the stamp that it costs to send. Do you know I just gave away almost half of my commission by sending that person a thank you with a scent circle? You have to consider the cost, okay? It might feel good, or you might think this is a good idea, but you have to consider the cost and the return on your investment of that cost. The point of this business is not to spend all of your money in marketing and thank yous. You want to pocket that money. People don't need freebies. They need follow-up. They need follow-up. Whenever I used to send people something in the mail, I could send them a handwritten card with a scent circle and a sample, whatever. Do you know they never tell me like, thank you so much, it smells so good in my car? They're like, thank you for that handwritten note. That's what matters to people. The handwritten note, the simple thank you so much. Do you know I write the same thing on every thank you card? I say, thank you so much, insert name, Julie. I appreciate you. XO heart Jennifer, every time. It's the same thing I write every time. Very simple, handwritten. They get a thank you sticker on the outside, maybe a felt sample. And that's like authentic to me. I really mean those words, like I appreciate you. But you guys, what I'm telling you is you don't have to be spending your money thanking your customers. They just need to know that you appreciate them. They need you to follow up with them. They need you to anticipate their needs. They don't need you to be giving away all of your commission with a scent circle. Okay? Now, I'm not saying don't spoil your customers, but spoil your customers in a smart way where the spoiling is due. Okay? If you have someone place $100 order on your PWS or 150 or 200, send them a hand soap in the mail. Send them a hand cream. Send them a laundry sample, right? A sample of laundry liquid Scent Soft and Whiffs. That's expensive. A full laundry sample costs you about $3. Okay? But they don't need to have full-size products. They just need follow-up. They don't need freebies. They need follow-up. But that's a business mindset. Again, that's a CEO mindset. How much money am I spending versus how much money I took in from this one order? Extremely, extremely important that you manage your expenses. Because guys, at the end of the day, I want you making money. If you're not making money, you're going to quit because you're going to say this isn't worth the effort, blah, blah, blah. But you can make more money by managing your expenses and not spending frivolously in your business. You have to ask yourself, is this a worthy investment? Okay? Every single time. Everything you do in your business, especially if it's costing you money, you need to ask if it's worth the investment and if you're going to get a return on it. If you're not going to get a return that you want, don't do it. I'd much rather see you send a handwritten card and text someone, friend them on social media, get to know them, do the follow-up, than send them freebies in the mail. And I promise you that goes a heck of a lot further than wasting your money and postage and all of those things. God forbid you have to send it in a bubble mailer with a catalog and then you're going to pay $3 for shipping, right? For every single one. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't be throwing away your profits. With everything you do, so not just thank yous, you always want to consider cost versus investment and versus your ROI, which is your return on investment. Your greatest return on investment is going to be in recruiting. Your greatest ROI is going to be in recruiting. That's a CEO mindset. As far as investment of time, your greatest ROI is not in making samples or organizing your office or designing a cute business card or writing an email that's flashy or creating a flyer. That's not your greatest ROI. Your greatest ROI is going to come in recruiting and then helping those people build businesses, mentoring and coaching people to success. It's your greatest ROI every time. And as you know, recruiting almost always begins at the buying level somewhere. Buy, host, join. We talk about that. Very natural progression, right? Okay. A couple important things that I think you should know having a CEO mindset, okay? You are here for your customers. It's not the other way around. You are here for them. You are here to serve them. Your customers owe you nothing. They owe you nothing. They don't have to shop with you. They don't have to choose you. They can choose another Scentsy consultant. You don't own them, right? Everything that you get from your customer or your host or your team members, it's all a gift and a blessing. Your downline doesn't owe you anything too. Okay, I need you to hear that. Leaders, your downline doesn't owe you anything. They don't have to participate. They don't have to show up. They don't have to be part of your group. Is it nice? Of course. Do we want to be together? Of course. But your downline doesn't owe you anything. And that's how you serve them well as a leader, is by not having expectations of your downline and being in it really to serve them and their needs and help them be successful. Another thing, never let anyone be more excited about your business than you. Never. No one should ever be more excited about your business than you. No customer, no friends and family, no teammates. You should be the most excited person. When you get an order, when you have someone join, when you have if you're a leader, when you have someone reach out to you for help, you should be so excited that someone is searching. Not like, oh my gosh, they could easily find that by looking on the workstation. Right? We should be so excited that someone is searching and they want to grow, and that is servant leadership, and that is a CEO mindset. CEOs, they have a vision, they make it clear. CEOs have a clear vision of what they want, when they want to get it, how they're going to get there. It's really super duper important. One of the biggest things that I think CEOs have is that they evolve to meet the demands of the business and the people. You have to be willing to evolve. There's no CEO that's operating the same today as they were in 2019, because demands, business, people have all changed. There's no CEO that operated in 2019 that operated in 2015 the same way, or 2010, or 2005. You have to be willing to evolve. When I'm talking about evolving, you guys, we've had this kind of conversation before, whether you like it or not, online parties, social media, that's where it's at right now. That's where it's at right now. Maybe it wasn't there a year ago. Maybe it wasn't there 5 years ago. Maybe it was, and then it wasn't. Guys, listen, that's where it's at right now. Social media, online parties, this is where you should be focusing your time. That's a CEO mindset. Even if it's uncomfortable for you, even if it's hard, even if it's not natural, you have to make it your B. You have to learn it. You have to become an expert at that. So let me talk to you real quick about the next generation coming up, because they're the most digital generation ever. Generation Z, okay? So some of you on this call are going to be from Gen X, some of you are going to be millennials, and some of you are going to be Gen Z. We probably have all different kinds of people here, but here's what you need to understand. Gen Z is the future. And if you're not running your business catering to your Gen Zers, your business will die. Okay, so we have to be thinking about our future business. CEOs are forward thinking, future thinking. Don't for a second think that Heidi and Orville don't have plans 10 years down the road already. Do you know that when a product hits the market in Scentsy, that it's probably been in development anywhere between 5 to 7 years? Okay, when Scentsy Go came out, we had a conversation about that like 3 years before it ever even hit the market. Same thing with pets. 3 years before it ever even hit the market, we were having conversations. It was going through testing. CEOs are forward thinking. So in being a forward thinking Scentsy consultant and CEO of your business, you have to cater to Gen Zers. Let me tell you a little bit about them. They currently make up 33% of the population. Okay. Gen Zers are born between 1995 and 2012. They are the most technological, like digital generation to have ever lived on this planet. And I found this really cool information. I want you to hear this, all right? So Gen Z, the average Gen Zer received their first mobile phone at 10 years old. Many of them grew up playing with their parents' mobile phones or tablets. They have grown up in a hyper-connected world, and the smartphone is their preferred method of communication. On average, they spend 3 hours a day on their mobile device. What does that tell you? Where do you need to live? Social media, apps, these are ways for you to connect to Gen Zers. It's not necessarily Facebook, by the way. Facebook is more of a millennial Gen Xer kind of thing, okay? Let me tell you about that. Generation X, these people were born 1965 to 1979. Gen X still reads newspapers, magazines, listens to the radio, and watches TV. They watch about 165 hours worth of TV a month on average. However, they are also digitally savvy and spend roughly 7 hours a week on Facebook, specifically Facebook, which is the highest of any generation. Isn't that crazy to hear? So if your 100% game plan is Facebook, who are you marketing to? Gen X, which is fine. Gen X is by Scentsy, but they're not the future of Scentsy. And when we're thinking about people to join our team and future hosts and future customers, we have to be forward thinking. We have to be thinking about Gen Z, okay? Millennials, age 1980 to 1994, there is what they call a micro generation from 1975 to 1985. It's called Zennials. And they're people that don't necessarily identify with millennials or with Gen Xers, but they're kind of in the middle. But millennials, 95% still watch TV, but Netflix edges out traditional cable as the preferred provider. Cord cutting in favor of streaming services is the popular choice. This generation is extremely comfortable with mobile devices, but 32% will still use a computer for purchases. They typically have multiple social media accounts: Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, all the things, okay? Maybe a lot of you are millennials and you probably have all the things. How many of you use your phone, but sometimes you're like, it's easier on a computer, right? Millennials, okay? But don't forget Gen Z. They are the future of all of our businesses. Some of you are Gen Zers. Some of you are Gen Zers. I'm going to read this again just so you can hear it. The average Gen Zer received their first mobile phone at age 10. Many of them grew up playing with their parents' mobile phones or tablets. They have grown up in a hyper-connected world, and the smartphone is their preferred method of communication. On average, they spend 3 hours a day on their mobile device. Let me tell you a couple other things about Gen Zers that I think are really important for you to understand when building your team, okay? Because when we're talking about Gen Z and being forward thinking as a CEO, it's about building our team. They're the future of Scentsy. They are all the future Scentsy consultants. They're the future of your team. And if you want your business to pay you for many years to come, this is where you need to live. This is where you need to focus. Gen Zers, most of them want to have a positive impact on the world and create change. That's something that's really important to most people in Gen Z. Okay, positive impact on the world and create change. Would you say that Scentsy as a company has a positive impact on the world? So it's your idea to share that message with Gen Zers so they can see why they would fit in a company like Scentsy. The other thing is, if they use a Scentsy business to provide income for themselves, they can use their Scentsy to impact the world in the way that they want to. They can use their Scentsy income to make change in whatever way that they want to. So as a company, do we impact the world and create change? Yes. But also, maybe the causes that we support or the way that we impact the world is not appealing to every single Gen Zer. What you want to do is help them make the connection between building a Scentsy business and impacting the world, using that money, using that income to change the world in the way that they want to, in the way that's important to them. Also, Gen Zers, unlike millennials, are looking for stability. Millennials were one of the first generations to be kind of like still living with their parents at age 35 or 40, not buying a house, not really caring to buy a house. Millennials were the first generation that didn't really care about setting down roots, having stability. Millennials are the generation where they went from job to job to job to job. They no longer valued what's the word? Oh, poop. They no longer valued like kind of commitment, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Like commitment, you know how like the generation before was all about like starting with a company, working there for 40 years and then retiring with their pension. Millennials busted that wide open. They started with a company and they were there for 3 to 5 years and then they went on to something else and then to something else. Loyalty. Not really a thing. But Gen Z, they're craving stability. What you need to do is show them how a Scentsy business can give them stability like that they create themselves. Because I think Gen Z, more than any other generation, is recognizing that jobs are not stable, right? Jobs are the greatest pyramid scheme ever. Governments are not stable. Governments can't be trusted. Jobs can't be trusted. Bosses can't be trusted. Gen Z realizes you need to help them make that connection and be constantly marketing that as a forward-thinking, future-thinking CEO. Lastly, Generation Z, nearly 80% of them said that they want to follow their own passion in place of a regular paycheck. 87%. They want to follow their own passion in place of a regular paycheck. And 44% of Gen Z say they want to be their own boss. Do you know what that says to me, guys? That says opportunity is out there. They're literally begging for someone to show them the way. They're begging for you to tell them about Scentsy. They're begging for you to give them the opportunity. It also says that your future is bright if you're willing to go after it in a forward-thinking, future-driven CEO mindset way. Your future is very bright. If 44% of Gen Z want to be their own boss, go recruit them all. Put them on your team. Build your future business right now. Last thing, CEOs plan ahead, okay? And this sounds very basic and simple, but I want you to understand this. CEOs plan ahead. As a Scentsy consultant, this translates to you order your supplies before they launch. You don't wait until a product launches or a catalog launches, then be like, oh, I need to get some catalogs. No, you order all that and you're ready to go whenever it drops. This also means you don't shop from other consultants because you missed the mark or you forgot something or you didn't show up or you didn't get up in time. You do not shop from other consultants. You think the CEO of Target goes to Walmart to do his grocery shopping? That's what you're doing when you're buying from another Scentsy consultant. CEO mindset. I don't care how bad you want the product. Don't ever give your money to another Scentsy consultant ever, ever. I love you, but I would never, there's nothing I want that bad that I'm willing to give you my money for it. Nothing. CEOs are educated and they know their products. CEOs don't say like, oh, where do I find this? Or how, guys, what's the answer to this question? The CEOs, they go figure it out. You have all the resources that you need in Radiant Rockstars. You have all the resources you need in the workstation. You have all the resources you need on YouTube. I promise it's about having that CEO business mindset. How am I in charge of my business today? How am I moving my business forward today? How am I sealing the deal on my future today? That's it, guys. That's being a CEO in your business.